Alright, so this is a NorthSide Custom RC. There's a few things that I just want to get out the way. It's just that a lot of people might not know me or who I am. However, I do have a good bit of history building RCs to do crazy and stupid shit. So I mean, when it comes to this build, a lot of the things that I'm doing are theory. So you can follow along with the build to see how that pans out. Now, I'm going to be going over everything and testing things to obviously see how the things that I think might work better in no prep RC, see how they work out and see if they actually don't work, and see how I can build this car to be the best that it could be, but going about it maybe a few ways differently than the run of the mill. This build video is not about how to build a no prep RC, but basically how I'm building my no prep RC, and I'm gonna go over every step of the build, from transmission, suspension, chassis, electronics, everything I'm gonna try and cover on this car, all the way to testing, the adjustments that I make, how I change it to work if I do need to make any changes, and we'll see how the car ends up in the end. Now, this is a lot of it's gonna be my opinion. So if my opinion differs from somebody else's, or they're doing something differently the way I do it, that's fine. I'm not trying to cut down on anybody else. I'm just trying to show how I'm going about making the kit and give off my opinions coming from a history of building, various different types of RC, which is one of the things I think gives me a bit of an advantage to a person who's either just been in one genre of RC for a long time. What I've noticed is that when you go through different types of RC and different genres, each different field has different things that they do to make their kits work. They have different tricks, and I've come to realize applying certain things from one to another is beneficial, and sometimes it's not. So I'm just going to go over a couple of the RCs that I've built so you have an idea of what where I come from. And I'm going to be making videos on all these RCs. There's going to be segments and series for each of them. This first series is going to be on the drag car, but afterwards I'm going to go into the other ones. Now, this right here, this is a fully custom mini Revo running on foams. This car is in the future going to be running for a speed record. We also got the Mini 8, which is another speed record car. It's not fully there yet, it's still in like buggy trim, but this is going to be a car I try to hit a nice top speed with. So these two here are basically mini speedrun cars. When it comes to doing miniature, smaller scale speedrun stuff, it really becomes hard finding bodies that you can fit the electronics that you're going to need to make certain speeds. So a lot of it becomes about how you wire everything and how you package everything as tight as possible. So this is one of those areas that I'm hoping to help me when it comes to no prep RC. We've also got a crawler build, which is it's an Axial SEX 10.2 running on RC 4-wheel drive portal axles and hot racing axle cases. A lot of trick stuff going into this one here. It's also on 100mm shocks and a bunch of other stuff, and this thing is a crawling bad boy. It likes snow, it likes mud, it likes anything I throw at it. There's going to be videos on this truck here. There's already a couple videos on some of the suspension mods that I've done to get the crazy amount of travel that this thing has. The articulation is just nuts. We've also got a couple other builds that I've done. This is an old build that I did quite a few years ago. It's a Savage XL. Now, this truck here is not a speed truck, but it's like a street basher for doing wheelies and top speed runs on the street. This sucker here actually does 55 miles per hour on a unmodified engine. It's not a stock motor, it's an aftermarket motor, and this bad boy here actually gets up to 55 miles per hour. It's a 8th scale truck. I've also built some truggies. That's my Losi 8T 2.0. That's an old one. I'm not sure what to do with this one here, because we don't actually have any more truggy racing going on in the area. I haven't done it in years and years and years, so this might get converted into an electrical buggy or just a nitro basher or something like that, but we'll do a build series on that as well. We've also got my drift car. This is a fully tricked out drift car. There's some videos of it already. It's a Sakura D4. And this over here is basically another Jado that we got right here. But what I'm going to be doing with this Jado is making a street Eliminator nitro car. I'm going to get an extended chassis to make it fit the 13, I think it's 12.5 or 13 inch wheelbase requirement, and it's should be able to fit most of these street Eliminator bodies, at least the ones that are made for slash width. So we're gonna do a build series on that also, but that's gonna be later in the future. We also got a second slash based, bandit based dragster build gonna go on. This is going to be basically my my control run. It's going to be as close to a stock bandit converted into a slagster, whatever. That's just a couple of things that we're going to have going on in the future for the channel. The first series that we're going to be doing is the slash based dragster. Oh yeah, I also needed to touch up on one more detail, is that when it comes to building these RC and me promoting any brand like the RCRI chassis and components or the R1 Works Digital 3 ESC, I don't have any sponsors. So every part that you see, I've had to pay for. I don't get anything for free. I haven't gotten any testing parts or any discounts on parts to put them in a video or something. None of that. If I'm promoting a part, if I'm telling you that I think this part is worth your time and attention and worth your consideration, that means that's what I truly believe myself. And I try very, very hard not to suggest or tell someone to purchase or to get any part at all if I don't think that it's worth their time, worth their money. If it's not worth my money, it's not worth your money. I'm going to be making more videos for all the different components that have gone into the build. And later on, there's going to be, videos for some of the other RC that I got in the shed. So please, like, subscribe, and share.